Adam Jogi is the Labour MP for Newcastle-under-Lyme. I spoke to him earlier this morning and asked him when he first became aware that the building wouldn't open as planned.
I was told last Thursday, so that would have been the 14th of August. I had quite a panic call, to be honest, from the local authority who came through to the office, asked to see me urgently. Understandably, this is obviously a very serious situation now we find ourselves in, but I was told as the MP for Newcastle-Lyme about 7 days ago.
So a week on then, what have you done since to help the students who were due to move in?
Firstly, I'm very grateful to Keele University, who have stepped in to support those young people in the initial stages. I've obviously spoken to relevant authorities. I've been in touch with the Ministry for Housing. I've been in touch with the Deputy Prime Minister. I've been briefed by the Council. And there are a number of questions we need to make sure we get answered. And the first thing, of course, though, is twofold. One, to make sure that the young people who were arriving on the Friday, so less than a week ago, had somewhere safe and secure to be and to go. And fair play to Keele University, who've stepped up to provide that support. And the second thing is to make sure that that building structurally is sound and is safe for those of us who live, learn and work in Newcastle-under-Lyme.
Are you worried that the building is unsafe, given the fact that Health and Safety Executive won't let people in?
I mean, the suggestion that people can't enter raises questions about why they've decided to make that call. And until we are provided with the reassurances that things are safe and secure and ready to go, then that will, of course, be something people raise. And so the sooner we get the clarity that we need, the better. And, I hope that the relevant authorities will step up and make sure that we know what on earth is going on as soon as we can.
How worrying is it that a building that's been plagued by so many problems is still causing issues?
I think that just sums it up, doesn't it? I mean, how many years have people been, it's a stone's throw from my office. It was a stone's throw from the office of the MP before me. It is literally next door to and across the road from the District Borough Council HQ. It is at the heart of the civic hub, as it were, of our town. And finally, people thought, and we saw from comments from the council leader, from the previous MP, that things were going the right direction. It was all going to be grand, and finally it was going to be sorted, having, as you said, been a blight on the community for so long. And then the day before, these young people who are, starting a new educational life and getting ready to grow, develop, learn, and hopefully contribute to the country in years ahead, are told that they can't enter where they thought they'd be living for their study period. So, it raises a lot of concerns about how we landed up here. There's obviously the element from planning at the District Borough Council, and how do they make sure that the oversight doesn't just stop with you give the planning permission, but how do we make sure that the planning authority is playing an active role, and at their points I'll be putting to the District Borough Council in the days and weeks ahead. But, as anyone who you ask about this building and this situation, on one level, some people will, I suspect, and I've heard from a number of them in recent days, not be surprised if we find ourselves in this situation again, but they just want the damn thing to be made safe, secure, and finally to play a positive role in the community that we all live, learn and work in.
Do you think the council could have done more to keep this development on track after, they sold the land in 2015 to allow the development to go ahead?
Look, I certainly think all relevant agencies have a responsibility to make sure that things are done properly and safely. Planning law in many different ways causes trouble for people and is sometimes complicated to get behind. But the simple point is, and for me, and this is something that I'll certainly be raising when Parliament's back in September, is how do we make sure that once planning permission is granted and land is sold by institutions like local councils, that we then follow through on that, and we see that it's not just a here you go, thank you very much, there's a tick, you've passed the test, go. But actually you follow that journey to make sure that A, things are done safely, A, things are done properly, and B, things are ultimately resolved in the way that local people want them to see. So that was certainly something that I shall be raising with the District Borough Council and, as I say, the days and weeks ahead.
What would you say to students that were lined up and ready to go in September then at Keele?
Well, firstly, thank you for choosing Newcastle-Lyme as a place to study. This is a great community in the heart of our country, and Keele is a brilliant institution. I do as much as I can to champion all the good that happens there, and spend a lot of time up on campus with senior staff, all staff, and with many of the young people too. But also, I'm sorry that you've had the uncertainty, the fear, the worry that goes with being told you can't move into somewhere you thought, presumably put the rent down and the deposit down and the rest of it. So that fear and that concern is not how you want to start your time at university, but fair play to Keele, who've stepped up, fair play to the relevant authorities who've made sure that those young people did at least have somewhere safe and secure to go. And I hope the situation is resolved as quickly as possible. And can I just say, if it does turn out, and we'll wait to hear the final contents of the report, but if it does turn out that there are issues structurally, safety-wise, and the rest of this building, thank goodness that it was found. But why on earth was it found so late in the day?
Well, we're hoping to get